Okay, here's something kind of wild. The same AI that can write your emails, explain a recipe, debug code, and help with homework is really just playing one simple game over and over again. Guess the next word. That's basically it. Today we're talking about large language models, or LLMs, the thing powering ChatGPT, Claude, and Gemini. And I promise, by the end of 5 minutes, you'll actually get how they work. Welcome back to AI in 5. Let me say that again, because it honestly sounds too simple to be true. A large language model is trained to do one thing. You give it some text, and it predicts what word most likely comes next. That's the entire core idea. Everything else, the essays, the answers, the jokes, is built right on top of that one little move. So how do you get a whole answer out of just guessing one word? It's clever. The model predicts the next word, sticks it onto the end of your text, then reads the whole thing again and predicts the word after that. Then it repeats. One word at a time, it builds full sentences, paragraphs, even long explanations. Think of it like the autocomplete on your phone, but supercharged, and it just keeps going until the thought is finished. Now, where does it learn to guess so well? Simple. It reads an absurd amount. We feed it a giant pile of human writing, books, articles, websites, conversations, code, billions and billions of sentences. For each one, it tries to predict the next word, checks whether it got it right, and nudges its internal settings to do a little better next time. Do that trillions of times, and it gets shockingly, almost spookily, good at it. Let's actually build a tiny one, so this stops feeling like magic. Here's the entire idea in about 10 lines of Python. We take a little blob of text and chop it into words. Then we walk through the words 2 at a time, and for every word, we just tally up which words tend to come right after it. That's it. That counter is our whole model. And the predict function simply looks up a word and hands back the most common things that follow it, along with how often. This is a baby version of the exact game a real LLM plays, just with a tiny bit of text instead of the whole internet. And look what happens when we run it. Give it the word the, and it says the next word is probably cat, or maybe mouse, or dog, with actual percentages. Give it cat, and it's a three-way tie between sat, chased, and ran. Give it ran, and it's pretty sure the next word is too. Now here's the thing to really sit with. We never wrote a single grammar rule. We never told it cats chase mice. It figured out those patterns purely by counting. Scale this exact idea up to billions of dials and the entire internet's worth of text, and you get ChatGPT. Same game, just enormous. And here's the part that genuinely surprised the researchers who built these things. When you get really, really good at predicting the next word, something strange falls out of it. To guess well, the model basically has to pick up grammar, facts about the world, a sense of reasoning, even a little common sense. Nobody sat down and programmed those abilities in. They just emerged on their own from the guessing game. That's why a single model can do so many different jobs. The same LLM can summarize a long report, translate between languages, write a poem, answer a science question, or draft a polite email turning down a meeting. It's not a separate app for each task. It's one general language ability, and you just point it at whatever you need in the moment. That flexibility is what makes it feel so powerful. But here's something really important to lock in, and it trips a lot of people up. A language model is not a search engine, and it is not a database of facts. It doesn't actually look anything up. It learned the patterns of language so deeply that it generates an answer that sounds right, based on everything it absorbed during training. Most of the time, that lands as accurate. But sometimes it'll state something wrong with total confidence, and in a couple of days we'll dig into exactly why that happens. And you've already met these models, even if the name is new. ChatGPT, built by OpenAI. Claude, built by Anthropic. Gemini, from Google. Under the hood, they're all large language models running that same next word game. The differences come from the data they trained on, how big they are, and how each team shaped their personality and behavior. And that word large is not just marketing. Picture this network, but imagine every one of these connecting lines is a tiny dial the model can turn, and there aren't a few dozen of them, there are billions. Watch them shift and settle. That's training. When the model reads all that text and tries to guess the next word, it's reaching in. So the next time an AI writes you a clean, thoughtful paragraph, remember what's really going on underneath. It's predicting one word at a time, extremely well, using billions of tuned dials. That single idea is both the magic and the limitation. Tomorrow, we'll zoom in one level deeper and look at how the model actually reads your words in the first place. These little chunks called tokens, and why they quietly decide how much you pay. See you tomorrow on AI and 5.